blank.
Who's your friend, Nancy?
Ah!
Boo.
Taylor Sinclair!
Who'd you expect, the Tooth Fairy? Looks like someone forgot her beauty cream. I guess we can't all age gracefully.
I'm sure she would say the same about you.
You've been a top-notch assistant, Nancy, but I'm afraid you're just not going to make it in the art world.
Why are you doing this?
Nancy, do you have any idea what that book contains?
Help me out, Sinclair. I'm drawing a blank.
The Whisperer's writings are the only known personal account of Maya life, the only written glimpse into Bakal's time anywhere. Do you know what I can get for that thing on the black market?
You have no right to do this. The book is not yours to sell.
Simple economics suggest otherwise. And I am the art dealer.
This tomb and all of its contents belong to Mexico.
Finders keepers, I say. Nobody even realizes this thing has any contents. Won't they get a surprise when they finally open it up and find that it contains a 7th century scribe and a 21st century detective? Adios, Nancy.
I'm starting to run out of air in here. This may be the scribe's notes about Bakal.
Behold, our heroine emerges from the tomb, like a mermaid from the sea. Meanwhile, the foolish villain stews in the sour soup of his own miscalculation.
From deep in the recesses of time, a wise royal scribe whispers her thanks.
And a priceless chapter of history is rescued from obscurity. Way to go, Nancy!
What in the world? Ah! Confound you, Nancy Drew!
Dear Dad, it was great to talk to you on the phone last night. I can't wait to see you back in River Heights where I can fill you in on the whole story. Can you believe that your own daughter was recently standing face to face with a real mummy? Now that the scribe's book has been recovered, I understand how important it is and why Taylor thought he could make a fortune selling it on the black market. The book contains one of the only personal accounts of Maya life and existence anywhere. I'm sure it'll be a tremendous addition to our knowledge of the Maya once it's translated, that is. And now that Penrick's memory is back up to speed again, I'm sure he'll be itching to get to work on it. Taylor Sinclair won't be making any art deals for a long time, though, that's for sure. I guess I shouldn't be surprised about Alejandro's discovery that the Bakal carving's provenance documents were faked after all. When Franklin Rose and the board found out, they arranged to return the artifact to Mexico right away. Mexican officials are so happy to have the artifact back, they have pledged a new era of diplomatic relations with Beach Hill. Joanna sure learned her lesson about making deals with shady operators like Taylor. The board has agreed to give her another chance, as long as she reforms her business tactics. And what else? Oh yes, Poppy Dada's announced a new direction in her artwork. All her new paintings are going to feature, what else? Mysterious red handprints. So I guess everyone is taking off in new directions now. I'm going to stay and help this exhibit get launched. But I'll see you back at home in a couple of weeks. Have a safe trip home. Love, Nancy. It's locked. £600 of gold bullion. Wow.
Hey there, Nancy. Why, what on earth have we got here? There's plenty of gold here. We can share. Open the door. Nancy, wait. Let's talk about this. This can just be our little secret. You scratch my back, I scratch yours, remember? Nancy?
The gold's all yours, Em. Enjoy it while you can. Dear Ned, as soon as I got out of the tunnels, Emily had left a door open. I called the sheriff, but when I led him back down the well to the room where I'd left Emily, she refused to leave. He and his deputies finally got her out, but one of them said afterward that if he had to choose between getting a bear away from her cub and getting Emily away from that gold, he'd pick the bear. What's worse, by the time they took Emily away, the place was swarming with reporters from all over the country. The commotion has scared away every bird for miles. I'm pretty sure Red Knot would like to strangle me. On the other hand, when Ranger Akers found out that 7 cars and 2 helicopters were illegally parked on park property and that he was going to get to ticket them, he was ecstatic. Tucker Davis finally cleared away that dead tree, which means I'm free to drive home. Moon Lake is beautiful, but I've had enough wildlife for now. Which reminds me, did I mention that those 4 ghost dogs are actually very sweet? They're so sweet, in fact, that Sally is seriously thinking about adopting them. How's that for irony? Ever yours, Nancy. That must be glory. These stairs sure don't feel very safe. Oh my gosh, these must be jewels from that jewel heist. I should probably take these with me. A letter. Joy's father must have left it for her. My dearest Joy, I hope Miles and his riddles have helped you remember how much you adored this horse and how... So this was Kessler's workshop. I'll bet that's the Carousel Horse that was stolen.
Nancy, what have you done?
It's what you've done. You stole the horse, you fabricated the whole haunted carousel thing to increase its value, and now you're making not just one forgery, but several.
You think?
You let everyone believe you were just a hopeless procrastinator. But this is the real reason you're behind in your work, isn't it?
Right on all counts. Unfortunately, you're not going to get to tell anyone else. Ever.
No, wait. Look what I have. They're diamonds. Real diamonds. Someone stole them 23 years ago and stashed them in the park.
Well, little icing on the cake.
That's right. You want them? Here.
Ouch! Hey!
I've got to get out of here. I'm trapped. I've got to get out of here.
I've got you, Nancy. You're cornered. You might as well give up. Ah! Ah!
Soon as I get out of here, I'm going to call the police, Elliot. So don't bother making plans for tonight. Or the next 10 years. Dear Ned, after trapping Elliot, I managed to pry the exit open and had Harlan call the police. Elliot admitted to stealing the Carousel Horse and planning the remote control device. He knew that publicity from the hauntings would increase the value of his forgeries. Needless to say, he's gone back to not liking me. Harlan, on the other hand, adores me now, because not only did he share the credit for busting Elliot, but his sudden fame brought him 3 job offers. He's staying on at Captain's Cove out of loyalty to Paula, but he's happy knowing that being an ex-con will probably never be an issue for him again. As for Ingrid, she promptly attributed Elliot's bad behavior to a deficiency in some mineral I couldn't pronounce. And Joy, when I gave her the picture of her mother, she started smiling and has yet to stop. Inventing Miles was the best thing her late father could have done for her. In fact, when I went to the park to say goodbye just now, she wasn't in her office. She was riding the carousel. Ever yours, Nancy. orca I saw before. Katie? Oh my gosh.
Nancy, I was afraid no one would ever find me.
What happened? How did you get here?
I fixed my boat and went right out to check on the whale, only the fog was rolling in and it was getting dark. Then I finally saw her, only she was being fed by some men in an outboard. They were putting some sort of harness on her. When they saw me, they rammed my boat, then grabbed me, tied me up, and brought me here. I don't know what's going on.
I think I do. They're using the whale to bring up smuggled cargo from a shipwreck.
Shh. Listen. Someone's coming. Hide! Hide!
Well, Katie, you'll be happy to know that your friend Nancy will be joining us any minute. Hey, how'd you get that gag off? Well, it appears she's already here. All right, where are you? Nancy?
If I could make it back to my kayak, I could go get help.
Somebody stop her!
Oh no, I'm trapped!
Well, what do we have here?
I knew it was you all along. And I told Holt and Jenna, if anything happens to me, they'll know you did it.
Nice try. But I can smell a bluff a mile away. You're about to become the victim of an unfortunate kayaking accident. Or maybe I'll tell my customers that the snake horse got you. Yeah, that's what I'll do. What did you do that for? Say goodnight, Nancy. Nuts.
Way to go, buddy! Dear Ned, I've got to hand it to Andy Jason. The plan he cooked up to recover smuggled animal furs was a darn good one. First, he got himself an orca that the Russians had trained for covert military operations. Then, he made it look like the whale was an orphan, so he could hide her in plain sight while she did his dirty work at night. Then, he and his henchmen disabled Katie's boat to keep her out of their way. They needed work gloves, so they stole hers. In fact, Andy's henchmen couldn't resist using the tunnel they'd found out about in Hilda's notebook to steal practically everything they could get their hands on. But now, Andy and his buddies are in jail. Jenna is serving more clam chowder than ever. Katie is planning to vote for Holt after all. The orca is getting along great with a local pod and is rapidly losing interest in humans. And I'm back on the ferry headed home. See you soon, Nancy. P.S. Just before I left, I saw something appear, then quickly disappear in the channel by Katie's boat. She said it was just a log, but I'm pretty sure it was you-know-who saying goodbye. There it is, Dirk Valentine's treasure. Solid gold hearts. Uh-oh.
Why, hello, Nancy. Find the treasure yet?
So you're the one who's been sabotaging the ranch.
That's right. Here my buddies and I went to all that trouble. Wrangling that horse, busting that pipe, cutting those wires trying to scare people off the ranch so we could tear the place apart looking for the treasure. When all we really had to do was what I just got done doing. Follow you.
You went to a lot of trouble for nothing. The treasure's gone.
Well, now, I don't believe you, Miss Nancy. Oh, and by the way, it's too far to make it back to the ranch without a horse, and I just ran yours off, which means you, to use an old cooking expression, are toast.
That's what you think.
Looks to me like the only way out is the way you came in, Nancy. So, ready or not, here I come.
gotta be a way to stop Shorty. Think!
I'm getting close. Just went through another door, Nancy. Went through another one. Only 4 to go.
There. Now I better hide.
I'm just 3 doors away from you, Nancy. Last door. After I get the treasure, I'll deal with you. Whoa! You switched door markers on me, didn't you? That was downright mean, Nancy. I could have hurt myself. The least you can do is help me off of here. How about it?
Nah, I think I'll go get the sheriff and let him help you off of there. Dear Hannah, it turns out that Shorty had ridden to the cliff dwellings on the Phantom Horse, which was really just a trick horse that a friend of one of his bank robber buddies had trained. Since my horse was gone and it was getting dark, I wound up riding it back to the ranch so I could call the sheriff. You should have seen the look on everyone's face when I rode up on a glowing horse. It looks like the phosphorescent powder that they used to make it glow was harmless, but Tex is taking care of the horse until he's sure it's okay. Mary Yazzie has straightened everything out with the Raleighs, and now she comes over a lot, mostly to see Tex. He turns beet red whenever she's around. It's actually kind of cute. Speaking of cute, Dave confessed to the Raleighs as soon as they got home from the hospital, just like he said he would. They not only forgave him, they even offered to split the treasure with him if it turns out they can keep it. Sheriff Hernandez is looking into it. The best part is, Bess and George finally got here, and we've been having a ball. Here's a picture of the 3 of us on our horses. Unfortunately, Dave took it. Guess he didn't realize his finger was over the lens. See you in a couple of days. Love, Nancy. P.S. I started reading the Charlene Purcell novel Aunt Bet has. And you know what? I can't put it down.